The new Red Bull Sea Blue Edition with the taste of Juneberry. Wings for every taste.
Nah, namanya halo ini kan habis anjing. Kalau kayak Kolombiana.
Become a success at Goldie Beacom College. Apply today.
¿Qué pasó, carechimba? Triple huevo.
Your home is your biggest investment, and things are going to break. Could be appliances, air conditioning, plumbing, and more. Never fear, EverythingBreaks.com is here. We cover major home systems, appliances, and electronics too.
This game, you just kind of wanted to go crazy. So take me through how you felt like your performance was in this game.
Actually, I have to explain the first thing that I was played yesterday, the Sejuani thing. I really disappointed to me that I played like a coward, you know, guys, and my fans will not like it, right? So today I decided to be like very crazy, and I just flash in free level, and I just fight 2v1 at the full level. I really like that.
The crowd loves it too. We were tracking your counter jungling, and you won the competition between you and Boogie, so congratulations. In terms of Team Liquid's early game, how has communication with your lanes been thus far?
Actually, the funny thing was like we know that Rakan was there, and AP was like, "Oh, it's okay. I have a snowboard thing, so I can just check that." And he just checked, and his flash is gone. Yeah. I don't know that was his plan, but actually that was success because we got a blue ward. Yeah, that was success. So that was my plan to be. And the next thing that Rumble has a prior to go into enemy red, so it was very easy to go red. But I knew that the insanity warded to retro side, so I saw that and I decided, okay, it's okay. I can use flash and just jump over the wall. And I watched the Boogie was going to the crowd. And yeah, that's mine. The retro is mine, and he was very smart, you know. He just hide it like this. He didn't scare my rumble, so I just respected. Oh, you're very smart. I'm gonna die. Okay, thank you. And I still said I'm gonna be crazy, guys. I'm gonna be very brave man. I'm very strong, so I just decided to fly that 2v1, and we won.
Yeah, it worked out for you. You have a ton of fans here. Some fans from Korea. Is there anything you'd want to say to them?
Oh, sorry, can you say again? I'm Korean.
Yeah, is there anything you want to say to your fans?
To fans?
Yeah.
Actually, today I don't think that you guys know. Here's my Korean fans come here to LA. So thanks to my fans that coming to LA for like 70-hour flights or 12-hour flights, and thank you for coming to cheering our Team Liquid Honda to here. Thank you guys.
감사합니다.
Thank
Take it
you.
to lunch.
Game of the day, FlyQuest versus Immortals.
Thank you.
You guys know that if Immortals wins this game, they're tied with Cloud9.
I don't know what to say. Now I knew a little bit ago. Interesting.
Because Cloud9 was power ranked as #1 and Immortals was #8. So if they're the same, what does that say?
Not good things for us. But that doesn't mean we have exciting games. That's just been honestly the key to this entire week. That IMT has just been finding great wins, consistent ones, off the back of, honestly, Ole's Bard, or as a team, I think Castle's been the player that surprised me the most. I came in with pretty low expectations, but to me, his Aatrox games, he's had a few of them where he just ran through, especially in his game versus Rich, ran through him in great 1v1s.
And Kelsey, since we have you here during the draft phase, I do want to ask you about FlyQuest, because FlyQuest is the first place team. So what has stood out to you about FlyQuest so far this quickly?
I think FlyQuest, just if you have heard Inspired's founder before with him, he always has very, very solid leadership. He makes it very easy for his team to get started and go from go. Also, you have Whippo, who everyone knows he loves to mentor like kind of the younger bot lane, and then I think all of them kind of working together, they just had surprising synergy from the very beginning. So for me, that's a huge thing. I also appreciate that they're banning my boy Armeo's Ivern, also Jad's boy Armeo's Ivern. He's been very successful on that. So to me, you know, oh no, solid scouting off the bat.
Something we've been tracking for quite some time overall is his highest win rate picks, because at least for Ole, he's made it very clear that he will go towards the highest win rate supports, and he's found success off of, like, a great example is Maokai. So let's see what the highest win rate supports that he could be choosing one. Oh my God,
it's still Maokai, and Maokai's not bad.
We've got Maokai and we've got Poppy. Zyra, that'd be interesting. I believe G2 played it, right?
And Zyra did get buffed on this patch also, yep. So good timing there.
Well, they first picked the Maokai, so that.
The second pick them high. We do not want to flex.
I mean, like, well, it could be going bot, but it could be going to Armeo. But now that 5 locked in, we know it is already going bot. Numbers don't lie, as Ole says always.
The rule is consistent, yes, I mean. All right, but we do have the Kalista pick. I do think that there's a lot of options that you can have into the Kalista. So interesting to see IMT go for something like the Vi instead of something like the Poppy, which I kind of expect to see. But the Maokai also makes a lot of sense into Kalista to me. It's very hard to play versus that champ in a lot of situations.
Yeah, Kalista Renata for FlyQuest. Obviously, they were the #1 team. They had a letdown game yesterday against Shopify Rebellion. There was that whole distraction about Busio winning Player of the Week, saying he picked Pike. Then he picked Blitzcrank to combo up with Smolder. There was just a lot of weird stuff going on in that game for FlyQuest. So I feel like going back here to Kalista Renata is a little bit of normalcy. And I agree with the sign. Jurg should come back.
I just want to touch it.
I think it's pretty interesting for Masu though, because when I think, not that Kalista isn't great at team fights, because she is, but obviously I think of Masu, I don't necessarily think of him as a super lane dominant AD, and one thing I'd love to give him and Busio credit for thus far in this split is they've actually had a really strong, or stronger 2v2 than I had expected, having watched Masu in Challengers. I don't know if you agree with me, Kelsey.
Yeah, I mean, I definitely agree with that. I think that it's cool to see it for sure, especially since Busio, he also struggled a bit with the laning, but it's definitely something that they've clearly been working on a lot. I know that they PvP, like their NACL bot line sometimes, just practice matchups and other things like that. The other thing, it's just it has to help a lot to have like this kind of level of mentorship, making sure that you level up very quickly.
With the Talia locked in there, it's really funny because earlier in the split, Mask was a victim to the Talia, like specifically Vi, as he was playing the Azir, getting hunted down by X's Vi. Now he's on the opposite side of things with the Talia Vi combo going up against Jensen Azir. So that should be the focus for my NP side, is that you're likely going to be tracking where the Azir is if he's on side lane, or just early on in the laning phase to try and get him off the map.
And tracking the rest of this draft, I mean, there is a little bit of difference in the champions they pick, because Kalista Renata being a full bot lane locked in for FlyQuest, and Immortals, they do have the support, but there's so many AD carry bands that could be thrown towards Tactical. Tactical going into the week was leading the league in kills, basically got shut out yesterday though and Immortals lost. So I want to see them put him in a situation to succeed, and it's going to be tricky, right, when you're just picking your support off win rate and you're giving up close to Renata.
Well, they have picked a combo, a top side that makes it very difficult for the enemy AD to play, so you
that
could
helps.
argue
That's true.
that they're setting up Tactical for success, and I agree. He's been actually a very big shining star for IMT. We talked a lot about Ole, but I think their bot lane in general has just been extremely stellar performance.
It's a really good pairing, Ole with Tactical.
Makes it easier for them to play the bot side, which was, it seemed like, their expectation going into the split. So with the AD carry bans, actually only came in.
Yeah, no, they're just doing topside bans. This is the Whippo party right here, trying to shut him out. Darius.
Get the Darius out there. Sejuani's probably, hopefully gets inspired.
Udir's fallen ridiculously far this year.
Yeah, we are not seeing the Udyr yet. I'm very surprised, but I think it's definitely something that FlyQuest might look for.
Yeah.
And it's also something that Castle might look for, right? So I think in another one of their games, he had a really strong year performance.
They're talking about Tactical's pick, or this isn't live. I imagine they're talking about Tactical's pick because he's hovering 80 carries.
Unbelievable.
Like against Whipple, you want to take away his counter pick. So even though normally you'd save this for later,
I'm waiting for the onstage action.
Wow.
Okay,
That can be
so
ballsy.
It could be bot lane TF. It also could be AD TF comp.
It could be Talia Maokai lane, maybe as well. It's unlikely, but it's a good chain.
Seems like the anti-Callista comp.
I guess so.
Got gold card, rocks from Talia, Vi ultimate, or just in general Vi lockdown with the Maokai. Callista just existing in fights is going to be difficult.
But, I mean, on the other hand, FlyQuest, they do have a very solid comp. They're not necessarily reliant on Callista to do a lot of damage because they have the Azir, they have the Udyr, and then they can always just throw in, and Renata will do well into the engage.
And I do want to mention that the TF can still be a flex. We saw Broken Blade picking Twisted Fate's top lane earlier this morning. So while I fully believe it's bot lane, it still is treated as a flex team.
Yeah, it's something, ADTF is something we talked about on the previous batch. Again, you mentioned Broken Blade. I saw ADTF played, it was in mid lane, but it was like the Kraken Slayer build for Shochi in NACL a few days ago. And ADTF top is just something that has been spammed in solo queue a lot.
It could also be something tactical plays, though, as we lock the Cassante
instantly.
And it's bot lane ADTF.
Nice.
I can't remember the last ADTF in LCS.
Okay, so our stats guy is saying never. Yeah. He's also saying he doesn't think it's ever happened in professional League of Legends history. I'd love it if someone proves us wrong, because if not, this is super cool.
I think
Surely
it
bot lane
definitely
TF
happened in
has
season 2, for sure. People are running it all the time in my solo queue games, including myself.
Yeah, that was 12 years ago. So in the last decade,
Are you calling me old?
That's wild. I'm calling myself old. I'm calling you.
Okay, Immortals comp, very fun. Absolutely 100%. I think still we're looking for a little bit of damage to fight with the FlyQuest Udyr, but I think Fly can take this still.
Either way, let's see if the ADTF pans out for Mortals. Castro, take it away.
Muchas gracias, chat. A historical first, y'all. AD Twisted Fate. The first time in League of Legends professional history. We've seen Twisted Fate jungle from Kicket. We've seen Twisted Fate top earlier today from Broken Blade. And of course, mid lane Twisted Fate. And now, Tactical bringing out the Twisted Fate in the AD carry.
Bottom lane, Twisted Fate comes to the LCS. It's pretty funny because we're like, live patch, live patch. This happened last patch. These 80 Twisted Fate buffs were actually last patch. It was 14.2. And we were all looking for it. We're like, oh my God, this is so fun. It's actually taking over solo queue. A lot of people are playing in solo queue. It's a three-way flex. You can play at mid lane, top lane, or bottom lane right now. But it's actually making its way to the LCS stage in the hands of Tactical, who is one of these critical players on Immortals, and a big part of the recent success of Immortals in their last couple of weeks of games, where they have started to really take a lot of games off the top teams that were unexpected. So
a lot of surprise wins. I want to remind everyone, the entire broadcast team had Immortals ranked 8th at Power Rankings at the beginning of the split. They're nowhere close to that. They are now in the middle of the pack, and they are challenging FlyQuest with a win like this. As the analyst or the lounge already mentioned, they will be tied with Cloud9, who was predicted to be first place in our preseason power rankings. It just goes to show that this season has been insanely chaotic, but insanely fun as well. And as you already mentioned, Kobe, Tactical, the only returning member for Immortals. We saw glimmers of hope, even in their few wins last summer split, was when Tactical was ahead. And now the spotlight is on him as he is making League of Legends Pro history with the Twisted Fate.
yeah, I feel like this Immortals team has really shown through in the last couple of weeks. Castle with his Aatrox play, outplays after outplays, Max having some big ones, Armeo on the invades. Now they're bringing out some of the spice here. The LCS continues to deliver so many fun picks opened up here, playing on the live patch. Players more willing to try out new champs, new builds. And let me go over just what the actual changes were.
Yes.
For attack damage Twisted Fate, because it was in 14.2 and didn't make its way to the stage until now, but they added some non-existent AD ratios to Q. Previously it was 0, now it's plus 50% of your bonus AD onto Q. They also added one onto the stack deck.
1.75 of your bonus AD ratio, so pretty decent there, as well as adding the crit ratio onto your W, and critically, in my opinion, one of the biggest ones is increasing the base attack speed ratio. The way that attack speed works in League of Legends, some of the champions are just not built for building attack speed because the items are increasing your base attack speed. So if your base attack speed is terrible, then the attack speed items are going to be relatively worse for you. So now, with the increase in Twisted Fate's base attack speed, makes it even better for building those items. And I will also say some of these changes do just make, regular AP Twisted Fate that people are playing like mid lane and top lane as well sometimes is a bit better because that often included a rapid fire cannon for the extended gold card. So all over basically Twisted Fate getting some nice buffs, just objectively better no matter what you're building than it was before. Obviously way bigger of buffs for a full attack damage build, and that's why we're seeing Tactical try his hands at it. One of the big reasons, though, especially specifically picked here, is that you can, and Raz mentioned this, gold carding Callista here puts a very quick stop to it. You have really reliable CC chains in Twisted Fate and Maokai on bottom side of the map, so maybe if they can get jungle down there, it's not going to happen early, obviously, because our male started on his wolves, and then is clearing up towards top side, and he's currently getting counter jungled by Inspired, who wants to split the map and possibly look for an early dive.
Yeah, I mean, if you see a novelty pick like AD Twisted Fate, you want to shut it down as fast as possible, as Whippo is already getting the priority. He went in early, got some early vision down onto our Mayo's Raptor camps, knowing that he started on the bot or started somewhere else, and now they want to pressure.
Yeah, especially with Whippo going for the invade there on Lugia or Proxy farming, like, they're definitely just going to destroy this pick. Welcome to the LCS! AD carry Twisted Fate. You have, I believe, 1 CS still. He's sitting at. Tactical does not even get to look at his minions. He cannot even ult down there right now. He's still level 1. Please pull up the CS again real quick. I just want to check. I'm pretty sure, yeah, 1 CS.
Oh man, this is brutal. Ole has to do the majority of the farming for him. Ole's level 2 Tactical has been bullied off the experience range as well. This is
why players don't want to innovate, Rafa. Because, like, oh man, I'm going to pick the new pick here, and they just get targeted by the opponents. Big props to Inspired, though. This is the guy that's in the running for MVP in the league every time he is in the league. Yeah. Regardless of which region he is in. Goes for the split map here, wants to play off of the pushing through the game here. Callista Renata, one of the best, most aggressive duos that you can draft in the game, and they don't want to let Twisted Fate start to stack up the items. They don't want to let him, get to the point where you have to worry about these CC chains that are going to come through. Gold Card and Maokai and Vi into Seismic Shoves coming from the Korea, which definitely will become a problem later, but early game, really like the execution and the plan here from FlyQuest, from Inspired.
Trying to put Tactical behind in levels, because once he has access to that level 6, this will be one of the few times where a marksman can roam and try to affect the sidelines, as Jensen might be in trouble from Mask. Does he want to look for a flash rock here? If the rocks itself, the flash forward, the auto trying to connect. Oh, Mask not able to play it out correctly as Jensen just dodges, didn't even have to burn his own flash.
Definitely love it. Getting aggressive, going super deep, leaves behind a ward, and they see Inspired clearing out the control ward on the other side as well. So gets aggressive, blows his flash. I like the killer instinct, but now you're going to be a target.
Yep.
You are for sure going to have a huge target on your head, because once Jensen gets to level 6, home here will shove you back.
Lucio already in trouble, forced to flash away, but Ole's flash is also expended as he's burning down from the Ignite. You can already see the kill lane setup though there. Gold card into Maokai's full DC root down under the tower, and now that's might be in trouble. Inspired. Flash guaranteed, the root on down. He should have enough damage here. Mask is nowhere to go, and he gives it over to Jensen for first blood.
They don't even wait for the Azir level 6. They don't even wait for that guaranteed punish. Inspired goes in, makes it look silly, flashes on him, hits the stun, back steps the seismic shove, which was the only hope that Mask had of living here. Nice little back step there. Just on the edge there, too. Doesn't waste any sort of time, gets right back in. So beautiful stuff again from Inspired. I guess we can continue to plug his MVP campaign with play after play for this game.
Yeah. I mean, one of the most iconic moments of Inspired's career was back on Rogue in the LEC when he got that pentakill on this Viego. We talked about it during the draft as well. I, as a Viego player, would love to pick it into a team that has a bunch of point-and-click CC, because if you possess them after, then that is easy CC for you to start following and chaining those resets and Heartbreakers.
Yeah, ultimate very useful there as well. And one of the big things that, since there was so much action, we didn't super get to highlight on the invade that he did earlier in zoning off Twisted Fate. You even get more of a reward when you zone Twisted Fate away from the minions, because he has the built-in extra gold from the passive. So if you're DSing way less in this game, as you can see, still feeling that pain of losing so many minion waves early, you get even extra pain from losing out on the possible gold generation of your passive, which, by the way, was also buffed to add the critical strike synergy in there as well. Obviously, he didn't have any critical strike early on, but yeah. Look at how it's going to change the way this game plays out. Inspired gets to run the map, bottom lane gets to continue to zone out Tactical and Ole. They get Dragon uncontested, and now we're going to get a lane game.
Oh, Ole looking for Busio. They know his flash is down from the turret dive before. Armeo's there to follow up, and the bailout is not going to save him this time. Ole picks up the kill. Looking for another gold card, but cannot get in range, and Inspired hovering to see if he needs to protect Masu from getting dove.
My cursing powers are in overdrive today.
They're incredible.
Had the ABA curse, got the bottom lane curse. Castle here is going to get a turret play for himself with his Whippo, excuse me.
Masu? Oh, he's looking, he cleanses it! Masu! No way it gets out! It's a trade 1-for-1, but man, that was an NACL Challenges moment where Masu was in the face of adversity, 1v2, and picks up a kill.
Yeah, they're gonna go for the trade kill there. Does get him down, and he's gonna keep his CS lead. Whippo, that's another turret plate that he earns on the top side in the face of Castle. Meanwhile, Inspired did escape that attempt on his life, only to get back into enemy jungler, counter jungling as well. We did the kind of look at both Umpty and in the last game in their time spent in enemy territory. Inspired has just been living in both sides of the enemy jungle.
And just watch the timing of this cleanse too. It is frame perfect.
Boom. Gets the kill. Would have been super cool if he got out alive also, but getting the trade kill there and making sure that Tactical doesn't get any more at the turret either, still so big for him.
And I believe the last time you cast one of their games, it was with Kangas, and he told you the story about the Wi-Fi wizard, if I'm correct. For those that don't know yet, Masu, when he first started playing in Challengers, was on Wi-Fi, did not have an Ethernet cable from Toronto, and it wasn't until a couple weeks in, FlyQuest were like, why do you have 120 ping? And he was just playing on Wi-Fi, and he eventually made the upgrade to Ethernet cable before coming in person to the FlyQuest studios themselves in LA. And you could see moments where he was so used to the Wi-Fi ping, he would pre-cleanse, timing it from that ping, but as he's gotten adjusted, this guy has insane reaction timings, insane hands. It's why he's such a hyped up prospect.
Mechanics on point, but ganks also on point.
3-on-2. I don't know if you can outplay this one. Wait, Busio, the Fate's Hole has dragged him towards. They find Tactical on the back half. Maybe the bailout will give him enough time. The red stack, one more auto attack. Oh, it's so close, but our male flashes out in time. He goes back in with Wall Breaker. Busio is going to survive as Inspired is there to protect him from further danger.
I really thought he was going to get it there. Armeo's barely able to escape, and they get the flash down as well. So more summoner spells being burned down here. It is just going to be a constant battle with the looks of it. Another attempt at a lane gank comes down here. Really good setup once again. As we mentioned, Maokai goes into the ultimate. The Renata ultimate getting off there. As it went through, though, Busio got a really good timing on that one, and then he really saves the bailout to get the maximum from it here. And even with that flash, barely finished off in time. That was by the slimmest of margins there. Almost had the really big outplay in the 2v3.
Oh man, you can see it's so slight. Feels like, oh man, it was so close. Masu there, you almost had it, buddy. You're getting there, you're getting better every time I see you on stage in the LCS. Whippo now making life difficult for Castle, doing Udyr proxy things. The second rotation of Grumpies have spawned. Armeo's in the area, but doesn't have prod from either of his mid or top lane at the moment, so it would not be safe for him to go for it quite yet.
Bottom lane really got that main character action going though. Even though the camera's on the top lane and Willow just keeps farming turret plates, bottom lane has really been the hotspot for the action. As you mentioned, it was inspired again, going for another invade off the pushing bottom lane. They were able to get inside. No more blue buff there, and only after they take that, he rotates up top and looks for the grubs. This would even it up, a nice even 3-on-3 on the grubs. And so there's not going to be any extra exciting split push shenanigans later on with those Void Mites spawning, but really nice stuff here from FlyQuest, playing off of both sides of their pressure.
Yeah. It's been a decently proactive game from both sides. Obviously, a lot of attention towards that bottom lane of Tactical and Ole from Inspired, but Armeo has been paying his dues and trying to get them back into this game. They might look for another move here in the mid lane against Jensen, but Inspired floating on over from the last grub, not revealing how many he took quite yet. Just making sure that Jensen is safe here. The flash from Ole, but he goes into the stealth of his Shroud. He dodges out on potential setup from Ole.
Yeah, all you need to do is grab 2 to deny the extra Void Mine spawning, so just grabs the 2, job done there, the blocking on the grubs, and then rotate back over to cover.
You know, at the start of this game, Kobe, we talked about how, you know, Mortals preseason power ranking the 8th place, but they've been able to pull off surprise upsets. Past 4 games so far, win against Cloud9, win against Energy, loss against Dignitas and 100 Thieves. They're able to tango with some of the best that we have, but obviously there's still things that are figuring out, but it's way better than where everyone else expected them to be.
And even if you go 2 further back than that, it's 1 win and 1 loss where they lost the deal and they beat Shopify Rebellion. So it has been a lot of split weeks for Immortals, you know, win 1, lose 1, win 1, lose 1, but that is, to your point, way better than people expected from this team. They have been able to fight in so many of these scenarios. Very impressed though at the possibilities of still trying to turn it around considering the early game. Still think the most impactful single move in the game so far was the bottom side early invade and the complete zoning of Tactical early on. He's also gone for the new static shiv here with the Twisted Fate. Yeah. Just looking at minion pushing. Much cheaper, but just for pushing out minions for Twisted Fate. Also really nice because he does have the loaded dice, so we'll see if this does pay dividends and if they can get their split push game style going. Because Immortal, it is pretty hard to play a map-wide composition when you start the game out with a deficit.
Yeah. Jensen's in a bad spot here. Tactical is going to use the game to try and get some vision. Gold card right on top. There's the point-and-click CC train. No way for Jensen to escape that one. And even though that was very exciting from our 80 Twisted Fate, I regret to inform you all that we actually lost the race to first Twisted Fate 80 carry. It was picked in the LGL earlier this morning. However, this is the first ever TF 80 carry in a major region, but not quite the first.
Yeah, nice little update there. Everyone was on the edge of their seat. Oh, really? Really? Is it the first one? Stats update though. LJL, congratulations. Honestly though, they did still lose out on the push on bottom side. They did get Jensen, flash down on Jensen too, so maybe Immortals can do something to follow up and pressure him there. They do have that Vi to Leah combination that we've been looking for, and they even threw in the extra ingredients, Malachi and Twisted Fate for good measure, but that was 4 players all sent mid for the kill. So you do give up a lot when you all in for these types of plays. We'll see though for Immortals. Obviously, this mob functions really well if you can get the outer towers down. That's where you really get the sign with having the extra level of an experienced Twisted Fate and a Talia on your team. Because then you're constantly trying to push out these waves. You got the static shiv doing work for Tactical, and you push the wave first, then look for your move. Push the wave first, then look for your collapse and your pick. And you want to constantly rinse and repeat that cycle instead of just going for straight 5-on-5s, because your pick off potential is just so strong.
And I kind of actually like what Armeo has done for his first item, because normally a lot of guys have gone more of the durable build with the Black Cleaver Rush, but he's gone for Triforce, and I imagine that he just needs to bring that extra little burst and oomph to any pick plays between him, Mask, or Tactical, because most of the time, Talia Burst might be enough, but Twisted Fate Burst might not be there yet in the early stages of the game.
Yeah, also when you see your bottom lane get zoned off of like 3-4 waves moves early on, you're like, well, I think we might need another damage source.
True. Good adaptation.
Our Twist of Fate's going to take a while to farm back into this one. Tactical's trying his best, but so Armero picks up a little bit of slack there too. So indexes, like you say, going more heavily into the ES route. And of course, the extra attack speeds too. We'll see if they can make good use of it. Because again, the best sorts of plays here for this Immortal squad is looking for the picks. And once again, they've done the vision work. They've cleared out this river so they get to roam between the mid lane here and bottom lane undetected.
Tactical pushing forward, so he's way by himself, but any time that you see Matt disappear from lane, you have to wonder where he is going. Thankfully for Lucio and Moss, switching this way safely, no more foul. We continue on, we're about 16 and a half minutes into the game, only a 1,000 gold advantage for the side of FlyQuest, nothing really to run away with the game with. And as you already mentioned, Kobe, the difficult thing for FlyQuest is they move into further stages of the game. Anyone that's pushing up on these side lanes is going to be a heavy threat from pretty much the Avengers coming from Immortals with all these gold moves.
All right, well, they're grouping up first here for FlyQuest. They retake vision around this dragon spawn preemptively. Nicely done there. They're even drawing out some of these saplings, walk close to the brush to